Hello, lovelies. Good day or good evening to you. I am just here to talk a little bit about setting up an altar for Underworld. Damascena spoke of this a little bit, but I wanted to talk more about just my personal preference and some things that I have learned along the way with working with altars. If you are in the underworld journey, if you are in Skydancer, I have no doubt that you are experienced with using altar medicine. This is just a little offering from me to you. Um, just since we're going down to a really sensitive, powerful, beautiful space together. So when I was a little girl, I always came inside from playing and would put little treasures up on my dresser. At the top of my dresser was my very first altar. It had little stones, little shells, maybe a gift from somebody special to me, something that made me feel good, something that reminded me of something beautiful or something about myself. Of course, there might be pictures, jewelry, things like that on my altar. And I think it's one of those things that's ingrained within us as women to just have reverence for our space and to have beauty around us and to have something to honor on a daily basis. We walk around the world honoring with our actions, but actions is also very masculine. So it's nice to just have a space where you can sit in your throne space. We've talked a little bit about our throne and how important that is to have a space to sit and think and meditate and reflect and just feel at ease with where you are on your journey. Um, One of the most beautiful things I remember learning about holding an altar is when I worked with a beautiful group of Native American elders in this area. I'm in Michigan, and they were actually from America, as they called it, which includes South and North. And even though altars are spelled differently than alteration, so there's Altar and Alter. The original meaning of to sit in an altar is it's where you went to be altered. And this is what many of the ancients referred to as their altar. It's where they went to pray, to think, to be transformed, and it really is a sacred space. In fact, many of the women of the Native American culture had hidden altars. I do have a hidden altar as well. It's mostly where I keep things in the dark when I'm not using them. It's a space where my children, I have two boys, know they are not allowed to enter. And I think it's important for women to have that, to have a space and to have the people they live with know that there are spaces within our lives, within our bedrooms, within our purses, within our bathrooms, wherever it may be, that is just ours and should not be penetrated, should not be peeked into without our permission. So just a little side note there. But so getting back to the altar, my first underworld, mm, my first big underworld experience was happening to me when I was going through my divorce. And throughout that process, I was moving me and my two children into a one-bedroom apartment. Um, this is Mabel. I'm just going to keep her in this video. I'm not going to start over. She's been missing me a lot lately, so pardon her obstruction. It's a beautiful obstruction. Um, I remember one of the things I thought to myself when we were moving into the one-bedroom apartment was, I wonder if I'll have space for my altar. And I knew I had this knowing just all throughout my body that because I was doing the correct, although very difficult and hard thing for myself and my children, one of the gifts was that my entire home was now open to be my altar. The entire space I inhabited was now my altar. Every step I took was an altar. So that being said, I will share a video here to just show you what altar I will be working with as we go down. It's very simple. I think when we do this, work within the psyche, work within the self, as Damascena said, it's not about archetypes or deities. It's about really looking deep within. And so our altar should feel supportive. It should feel like a safe space. It should feel welcoming. It should have aspects to it that feel like alchemy, like we are here to be affected, to be altered, to be shown deeper layers of ourselves. One thing that I wanted to share that didn't quite make it into the video I made of the altar space is the idea of a talisman. Um, for me, what I've used as a talisman has been the red thread. I have on my altar a little piece of red thread that was cut from the spool, um, pretty long, and then I cut it in half, and then half of it went onto my altar, and the other half is here on my wrist. So that when I'm not home and I want to connect to my altar space, I have this right here. And it also symbolizes the red thread of Ariadne, holding it as I know the story is just one person, but to me, Ariadne is the symbol of an everlasting love, this holding on to the other end of the red thread as we venture into the labyrinth, as we venture into the self, as we adventure further down and up, in our case now, down, so that we're tethered to body, to spirit, to our spirit is tethered to matter. And that when we're not home at the grocery store and we're feeling worked, we're feeling some type of way, our nervous system might be a little frazzled. I do like to sit or take a moment and just reconnect with my red thread and think about my safe space, my altar, my throne, and remember that everything that occurs is a part of the process, a part of the journey, and I'm always being altered with every breath. And yeah, it's just a beautiful thing. So thank you for listening. I have, like I said, a video of my altar coming after this one. So enjoy, and I will see you inside Underworld. Okay, bye-bye. I would love to share with you now my altar for the Underworld. It is fairly simple, but it feels good to me, and that is so important while doing the great work. It sits beneath the tree of life. In the center, I have the wheel of time with a tall crystal in the northeast position, symbolizing where we are. In east, I have light, fire, spirit. In south, I have water and emotions, earth and body for west, and in the north, air and mind. The chalices represent to me duality, myself and the other, my relationship with my environment, the inner feminine and masculine, as well as how I relate to others on the outside. For me, it is about staying in balance, staying centered, and being aware of all the aspects of the journey. Thank you for witnessing.